Good evening. I want to thank Zambia and thank South Africa and thank Africa at large for giving me this opportunity to continue rendering my voice in building up Africa towards a United States of Africa. Under the Moses of today, Ibrahim Traoré. Today, I want to announce that for Hakainde Chilema in Zambia, there is no victory. I don't see Hakainde Chilema winning the elections. It's not a revelation. It's something that I see happening. The revelation was given to me a long time ago, and I've spoken it. I'm just following the understanding of terror everywhere, the name of Hakainde Chilema, which I announced last year in April, far way beyond before the elections. What is it that I'm trying to say? Hakainde Chilema can only extend his power through rigging the Tanzania formula that I've been speaking about. I saw Brian Mundubile kneeling down for prayer and asked Makebi Zulu to pray for him. I don't know if Makebi Zulu is a prophet or is a pastor or is ordained to do that role. I don't condemn Makebi Zulu because he did not even touch the head of Mundubile. Thank you for the general prayer. Zambia will only be safe if a president is prayed by a right person who holds the declaration of peace towards Zambia. As Elijah declared 3.5 years of famine on King Ahab, it only needed Elijah himself to come back after 3.5 years to restore rain. It only needed Elijah himself to go on Mount Carmel to restore rain. It only needs me to go back in Zambia and restore peace in State House. I declared it. It's on news. Even if the world can bring down the news from Daily Sun, where I talked in 2015, where I said every president in Zambia will die if they have not received God's protection. And I'm waiting for Hakainde Chilema. And he's losing out of power. It can save him. Because I wrote to him and asked him to do what? To resign, because he entered into agreement with the Vatican. And the people are blindfolded with the Vatican support, thinking that the Vatican, because Vatican is the one that is actually giving our families food every month end. I don't know how many populations in Zambia that have been fed by Catholic And that's the reason why they have the majority in the world, because they feed the poor. Behind that blanket of feeding the poor, there is an evil agenda to rule us, the mark of the beast, through the control of our natural resources. When Munduvile talks about 50% control of ownership, talks about giving the dark side to the youths, that is far beyond the required ownership of our natural resources. Zambia needs 100% ownership of natural resources. Why should we allow America to own our natural resources? Why should we allow Britain to own our natural resources? That is a source of death to our families, to our leadership. And when I'm talking about family marriages, it's an addition requirement for every leader that seeks to rule Africa must know that Africa must go back to family marriages. Because as a president, you go to State House, you are threatened by the people that are surrounding you right now. Because when they reach there, they won't want you to do what is right. They want you to do what can put money in their pockets. You'll be shocked. Today, you are brothers with Makebi Zulu. If Makebi Zulu finds someone who is going to promise him to say, no, 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 I'll help you to become president and remove Mundubile, you start fighting. Because someone has offered money somewhere else. I thank God because I advised Kasonde Mwenda to join you. He has joined you. Listen to Kasonde Mwenda. I talked to Kasonde Mwenda on the phone. The only thing that remained to Kasonde Mwenda, it was prayer. But he went and been prayed by another woman. I don't know what pastor is that one. A mistake that he did. What I speak is God's agenda. I'm not promoting anyone. I know that there are many Satanist pastors that have been ordaining presidents. Then they fear to be prayed for because there are a lot of Siawans that are giving fake blessings for sale. I'm not there to give you, to initiate you into Satanism. Look at the difference. I foretold of UPND government coming under the support of Vatican, and I said Freemasonry government is coming. Satanism. There's a time when UPND had the Chitenge material with small 66666 under here. I talked about it, and in a newspaper, I said the UPND is bringing in the mark of the beast, 666. And when you look at what is happening today in the world, the AI program, that is so enticing. It can help you edit books, but it will contradict you where you put your emphasis. That fights the system. It will put something different there. And you are going to print out your book without reading it thoroughly, thinking that everything is well, when everything is not well. We are waiting for digital IDs, where a person can only withdraw using your finger and your voice, where you don't need a passport, you only need a finger to travel. Everywhere where you are, they watch you. The mark of the beast. I will tell you to say the mark of the beast is allegiance to Vatican. The mark of the beast is forced systems of worship. Whether you worship on Saturday or Sunday, you carry the mark of the beast, even Thursday or Friday. So I'm appealing to Munduvile to seek right prayers, to seek the right agenda of God. Don't get what you get from social media. Call me and I'll speak to you so that your destiny can be secure and sure. I still say, repeating the second time, to say if Hakainde Chilema Tanzania formula is in line with Ibrahim Traoré, I can say I support him. Because even Makebi Zulu, the lawyer, and the Munduvile, the lawyer, when they form government, they need to change the whole democratic system to join hand in hand with Ibrahim Traoré. That's a revelation from God. It will give Africa true freedom, true control. Ibrahim Traoré, he does things exactly in a manner I saw in a vision. We need political reformation. Democracy is a false blanket of slavery, economical slavery. Our money is losing value every day because someone else is ruling over us. I want to say that may God always protect us. There are things that I may continue speaking. And when I'm speaking, people shake their heads and say, no, 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 I'm lying. But I'm simply saying, watch out, Munduvile. Watch out, Cyril Ramaphosa. Watch out, Julius Malema. Watch out, every leader. We are not safe as long as our natural resources are controlled by someone else. Yes. The other thing that I want to add is that if Munduvile, Kasonde Mwenda, Makebi Zulu, Sakwiba Scotta, who I believe he was supposed to take UPND, was denied that opportunity because he was not in Freemason. If he was in Freemason, he was going to be one of those. If you deny all of you to take this counsel serious, I would pray that a person who is courageous enough that I've seen is Garin Kombo. Garin Kombo has been denied leadership in UPND, further denied to stand as independent because he does not associate with Freemason in the manner that Scotta was denied that opportunity. Sakwiba Scotter. I know he's a lawyer. All this united opposition, the leaders are lawyers. I hope they should not only trust in law, but they should trust again in the law of God. The Sabbath, as the only lunar true calendar, must find room in their government. Freedom of worship must be aligned with the law of God, the Ten Commandments. Yes, if you take it from the window, you are going to implement it as part of Christian nation. It's not part of it. Christian nation is Satanism. If you take it the way Michael Sata did, I will rule under the Ten Commandments, under Catholic Church. It's not Ten Commandments. It's not part of the Catholic Church. Catholic Church, they don't have Ten Commandments. Check in their catechism. You are going to know that Catholic has 9 commandments. The true Sabbath is not there. And the second law that forbids making graven images, it's not there. In short, I would say they have 8 commandments. It is time that political leaders must seek God's anointment. It's time that political leaders everywhere in the world must come to face God. It is time that God must perform the miracles that he did with Moses in Egypt. Let my people go. We are not going to continue remaining in exile because of the preaching of God's word. Those that fight God's word must end up in exile. Those who are sent to masquerade around the people of God, the man of God, those who stand for truth, must end up in exile. I prophesied about Julius Malema. 2022, I wrote a letter to warn Julius Malema that he will be accused of corruption. And today, everything surrounds him after he talked so louder in the Mlanga Commission. And things are backfiring. I wrote him to say he must seek God's face. Recently, I wrote, when I heard that Ramaphosa is going to address the nation on this xenophobia issue, I wrote and requested that he must announce United States of Africa. I just heard this last night on social media, one of the ministers says, no, South Africa cannot go against international laws because we are together. We are there to protect immigrants, refugees, and others that abide within the contents of the law. Where was that statement all along? Where was it? That statement is not enough. The statement was supposed to say, we join hand in hand with Ibrahim Traore. We are a United States of Africa. Every Africa, wherever it is, refugee, asylum seeker, immigrant, or whatsoever, there is no one in Africa who is illegal. As long as a black person, wherever he is a black person, that's all. It's the end of the story. There's no black person in Africa who is illegal, with or without papers. All these borders, they were meant to do what they are doing today, to divide us, to control us. All this, what is happening right now, I'm simply saying it's a funded project. When you hear Malawi saying that we are getting our people here at the buses, I've heard Zambia took only 40 people, and I didn't even see anything that shows that there's that program here in South Africa for Zambians. Maybe those four, wherever they come from, I don't know. 40. When Nigeria is taking its people, when Ghana is taking its people, someone is using the government of Ghana to say, no, we are going to fund you. We are going to bring your refugees, bring your people here so that we give them money to start up their life, to create the gap and to fund the protest here. All these divisions, all these corruptions happening in the world are funded. Drugs are funded. So I mentioned about these things when I was too young in 1990, when I saw the first vision about political leadership that is mad with allegations because it defends its citizens, mad with allegations of what is called dictatorship. There's no dictatorship in Africa. Dictators are the right leaders that are needed. Today, if you want to withdraw ownership of mines from the white people, they call you a dictator. If you want to withdraw ownership from your own people to give to the white people, they say good leader, democratic leader. They even allow you to rule more than 2 terms. They even allow you to change the constitution to suit your own environment because you have allowed them to ownership of natural resources. As long as you deny your own citizens, they'll allow you, they'll permit you to do what happened in Tanzania, arresting everyone else for no reason. Mundubile, seek God's protection. Defend the will of God in your leadership. It's my prayer that you reach a time that you can call upon Him in truth. I'm not careful. Every leader who rejected warning from me, they are no more. Every leader that I called for prayer, if you read my books, before Mwanawasa died, I made it clear. Every president, I invited them to Komboka to say, come at my place, 449 Komboka. I gave them even time to say, don't carry your food, I'll come and feed you. Come here, I want to talk to you, to tell you what is ahead in Zambia. Politics, death is waiting for you. They refuse to come. The letter is in this book. Is it visible? Yeah, this book. If you are able to see it, I can't get the reflection. Okay, at least here. It's in this book. The rescue operation, President Barack Obama, Speak Pen Predicament. I wrote this book, published it in 2010. Okay? The open letter for President Mwanawasa is in this book. I invited everyone to come. They did not come. The actual copy of the open letter is this one. Okay? Now the pictures here, they are fading. It's me there and President Kaunda. The rescue operation, open letter to Dr. Manawas. Let me read somewhere. Perhaps I may give you an insight. Open letter to Manawas. Let me just say, page 98 of this book, okay? The rescue operation, open letter to Dr. Lev Patrick Manawasa. It's Dr. Manawasa. It's me there greeting Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Those who have this, Hakainde Chilema has this book. I believe also Mamba can have it because I was giving Chiluba through him and his other colleagues who were surrounding Chiluba. I said on page 98, President Manawasa, the fact is there is no love between you and the first Republican president of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Later alone, Chiluba and President Robert Mugabe are now your political enemies. And this vision of the frog has met its fulfillment to open your eyes to see that God can speak in advance and can draw a line for our future as to draw it for as he drew it for Nineveh through Jonah the prophet. Try him now before it's too late for you to bring peace, love, and joy amongst your adversary. I'm calling for a meeting, Mount Carmel showdown, for God to review a way of peace, not only for you, but for Zambian and for the future generation. But if you disobey, God is going to fight for his people as he did for Israel. The warning that predicted Chiluba as a Akan of today, the same is echoed to you, Mr. President Manawasa. There is no peace in your going. I don't wish Zambia bloodshed, but I want my country to enjoy love, peace, and prosperity. This was a warning to Hakainde Chilema in a 14-page letter. It is not only this warning. I warned also Dr. Kenneth Kaunda in the second paragraph. I also warned, let me read perhaps for your sake. With Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, when I forcibly asked him to go back into his office, and that is where I delivered a message that I entitled, "Your blessing is tied in the thicket." And I told him not to go ahead with a political ambition and that he would step down from active politics. That was symbolized by a tree he climbed and failed to come down. He trusted the people around him and proceeded to a rally in the Western province against this vision. In no time, in his stead, his son was assassinated after I warned him that I saw you in a tree and a lot of people in support of you, but in no time you jumped and ran to safety. The message was when Abraham looked into the thickest, he saw a lamb and it saved his son's life. And after the funeral, I met him at his home and he asked me if he, I asked if he read the message I gave him. And he answered yes. he had it in a drawer. So when I looked into this message that I warned Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, God gave me a picture of Abraham laying his son. And I said to Kaunda, before he went to Western Province, Basil Kawe, he knows about this meeting. If he's still alive today, Basil Kawe can agree with me to say he announced before the departure to Western Province, say the church is telling Dr. Kenneth Kaunda to step down from politics. It was me. That news was actually reported in Daily Sun. So I want to say today, when I'm talking to Hakainde Chilema, when I'm talking to Makebi Zulu, I'm talking to Munduvile, I'm talking to every opposition leader, included is EFF Kasonde Mwenda. Listen to God. The same God that warned Manawasa, the same God that warned Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the same God that warned all these leaders that have died. I've listed everything here. I want to say, to add on my summary, this is an open letter to Dr. Manawasa, which I wrote on 12th May 2007. So I talked about Hakainde Chilema in advance. Today, I might have written letters. If I would have written letters, I was going to talk in advance about Munduvile. But now I'm putting it in this video to say, kindly remember to seek God's face. The iPod of God is worth you carrying in your hand for your protection, for a successful leadership, for you to save Zambia from colonial economical slavery. To Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda. Okay, let me read. What is it? I want to talk about. Okay, let me start with the paragraph 3 on verse 103. I know I will continue to believe that God shall save me at his coming. To Hakainde Chilema, I say what I told the late Mr. Anderson Mazok, that start with God and run with God unto the end, and end with God. Do what God shall reveal unto you all the time. So shall you save your soul from death. Hakainde's death is not warned today by these false prophets that we are saying, no, Hakainde Chilema won't finish 2026, he's going to die. I said I'll pray for Hakainde Chilema not to die 2026, because I want the false prophets that have filled the air with pollution of fake prophecies, stealing my prophecies, preaching very hard, because AIA control the followers. My videos are restricted to the few. Then those of false prophets, they are blown off blown out in abundance to many followers. When you look at what JJ Banda came on social media just recently, but is commanding many followers. Before he can start his live video, 1,000 followers will be appearing, because what he speaks is a mixture of truth and error. If JJ Banda was not commending Catholic Church with that rosary, he was not going to have followers. If JJ Banda was not referring people to Siawan, he was not going to have that famous name. But because he's denouncing Satanism, but promoting Satanism on the other hand, then he has followers, because as long as you say the rosary is what can protect me, as long as you say Siawan can pray for you, then you are condemning Hakainde Chilema for his cabinet and his government being in Satanism. You are doing right, because Hakainde Chilema does not want to follow all the guidelines. He has failed to announce publicly homosexuality, because the government of Vatican requires a leader to announce publicly about homosexual law so that they can enjoy the manhood, the sperms being released in a wrong direction because they will be refused back and they need them for their leadership support. So now, I want to say that if J.J. Banda can denounce Catholic, can denounce Siawan, can denounce all other false institutions, even denouncing the support by donor countries and calling for nationalization of our mines, he cannot have that followers. There will be appearing only one here on the screen as a follower because they don't want anyone. They control our social media platform. As long as you speak the truth, they limit your video towards few individuals, which cannot translate into a force of reformation. So what I said to Hakainde Chilem, I warned about his death before he became president. In 2007, I talked about it. And Hakainde Chilema became president in 2021. 2007, when we subtract the warning, how many years? 14 years in advance. Is it 14? 2007 to 2010? That is 3 years to 20. Yeah, 14 years. I'm correct. If a prophet can prophesy a president's death when he's still opposition, that prophet must be given credit. If a prophet can speak victory, someone telling someone in 2007 that you'll be president and he becomes president in 2021, I've told you already, I never wanted to be called a prophet. But I came to a point that I realized that I cannot resist further because whatever I wrote, it has come to pass. I continued in this open letter to Manawas. I said, I know I will continue to. Okay, let me read. I've already read this one. I also invite you to Mount Carmel and meet your God, and He is waiting. I'm talking to you on this subject for the first time. I was talking to Hakainde, inviting him to Mount Carmel. That was my home where I was inviting him in Komboka 2007. And I said I was talking to him for the first time. This letter of Mwanawasa is the first letter I copied to Hakainde Chilema. And there is nothing in this letter that can discredit the prophecy. The only thing that has remained to be fulfilled is his death. To Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, God says, come. To the second Republican president, Dr. Chiluba Titus Jacob, to Dr. Frederick Titus Jacob Chiluba, God says, come. And Mr. Levi Mwanawasa, come, come, come. To Mwanawasa, I said 3 times, come, come. Mwanawasa collapsed 3 times. The 3rd time, it was his death. Come, come. It was an emphasis. Mr. Sata, God says, come. UPND President Hakainde Chilema, meet your God at Mount Carmel. Come. I told these leaders in their line of leadership, and they have died in their line of leadership. And all these others that came in to take over, I was shown in another vision like that of Ed Kalungu and that of Rupia Banda, all have died in refusing to take God's agenda. This comes as a warning to you, Mnduvile. This comes to you as a warning. Julius Malema. Julius Malema, Cyril Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma, unite now and call for United States of Africa, or else all of you will be in jail. The wind of change that will place DA, Donald Trump's authority, is soon approaching. And that's when you are going to run and search for your God, and you won't find him. Page 104. I continued to say, come, 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 come. Date 19 May 2007, time 9 hours, admission is free and food is free. Isaiah 11 verse 1 to 6. The spirit of knowledge shall rest upon you. Come, the spirit of wisdom to understand dreams and or revelation shall be given unto you. Come, the spirit of counsel to defeat your enemies is sure. I feel I should just cry, because these people, they have died with a saving message in their pockets. But now I'm not crying for them. I'm crying for you, Mnduvile. I'm crying for you, Hakainde Chilema. I'm crying for you, Cyril Ramaphosa. I'm crying for you, Zuma, who is still alive. I'm crying for you, Malema, because I know all these corruption charges that is leveled against Zuma is a project to discredit the independence. It's a project to discredit Africa leadership. All these allegation against Cyril Ramaphosa is a trapped allegation. Someone sent me money, 24,000, to support the ministry. And after that, he tells me I should not preach about family marriages. And he wants to use the same support in the WhatsApp group to scandalize my name. It's a project. And I did well. When this man came, I invited him to the executive, and I made him to join the executive as a member. And I proposed that whatever you give me, it will go through the executive, because I know how these people operate. They come as good people. They come as people who are ready to fund you. But by the end of the day, they will use the same funding against you. So be careful. When you receive any funding from anyone, bring it to the public, so that when it is used against you, you have a record that no, my funding, I reported it. The same applies with Cyril Ramaphosa. The money which is accused of buffalo buying and selling, it is said not to be declared by the border or upon entry at the airport. Indeed, whatever the case, it is something that is politically motivated to bring down the leadership. Julius Malema is facing the same allegation. And how many leaders are arrested in Zambia. GBM was destined to be president, was tortured by detention, almost dying. And when the daughter went to Hakainde Chilema, spoke whatever she spoke, allegiance to the UPND, keeping quiet for anything that they know about UPND. The father was released and is nowhere to say anything. Kambili, he was also detained. There's bulldozer there, inside there. Why is he inside? Because if he was outside here, he was going to do what? To shake the winning process for Hakainde. Nakachinda is inside there. If Nakachinda was out here, the potential leaders of PF, they are going to shake further the UPND to its final death. But today, we are waiting, tightening our hands in prayer to see to it that Unduvile may not end up in jail before the elections. Because they don't fear what people do say when they want to make their victory sealed with false results by clearing anyone that stands as a threat. The other case in Zambia, allegation and smearing of Gary Kombo, the very person who was caught on camera blocking Gary Kombo from filing in to sign his nomination as independent member, tearing his shirt. I saw the wife rushing, "Leave my husband, leave my husband." She was climbing those benches by the entrance, passing men, and went to stand in between the man and the husband. And the same man now raises a case against Gary Kombo to say he stole the money, lost what. Whew. And the police arrest Gary Kombo. Terror everywhere. I'm just thinking to say perhaps there's only one person that may understand this appeal to seek God in prayers. If there will be only one person that will accept to do God's will, God shall use that one. As I pray for my enemies, those that wish to control me when they are supposed to be controlled by God to support his ministry. It's not about money. It's about truth. It's not about freedom. It's about even in prison. Truth is truth. Even in exile, truth is the truth. No one shall stop truth. If the lion can eat the dog, the lion's day is coming also. If the elephant can crush the lion, the elephant's day is also coming. God is saying, Africa, listen to God now. no matter how many ways that they would rather want to discredit the Bible, or rather, I'm actually forbidden to say the Bible, the book of truth, the book of prophets, the scripture, because the Bible has been edited. That's why it is called the Bible, because it rejects family marriages, which God ordained from Adam to Noah, and from Noah to Abraham, from Abraham to Jacob, from Jacob. In fact, in between Noah, from Abraham to Lot, from Lot to Jacob, Jacob to Israel, and from Israel until the disciples and Christ, the Sadducees, asking Jesus, saying, "Who is going to be the husband of this woman who has been married by 7 brothers?" After death, this one inherited. After death, this one inherited. Also, he died. All the 7 died. All the 6 died. And this 7th one, when at the resurrection, who is going to be the husband? Jesus did not condemn the marriage. Simply says, in heaven or after at resurrection, there will be no marriage. So I want to say that if Moses can contradict refusing brother inheritance of a wife, then that text is not from God. The Bible must be rewritten again. The visions and dreams must be clear, must put things that are not straight there. The Sabbath is not purely identified. It must be identified. The book of Noah, the book of Enoch, it contains the movement of the moon attached to the Sabbath. It must be retained to the Bible, or to the book of truth, the book of prophets. Also, that clip, that part of Numbers 18, Numbers 20, that forbid marriages in families must be removed. We follow Adam, we follow Abraham, because those are very greater evidence that Abraham said, "I'm married to my sister from my same father, but different mothers. But she became my wife." No scripture must dilute the word of God by condemning that marriage, because the same marriage kept on repeating even after the cross. May God guide you and bless you. It's my prayer that everyone that wants leadership that is protected by God must seek to be anointed, to be prayed for, to be given guidelines how to seek God in prayer. Not guidelines to rule the country, no, just to protect yourself from the Antichrist. I'm not going to give you guidelines like the Pope that says, "No, I want to give you guidelines how to run the country." No, 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 no. To run your life, just your private life with God. Not to rule the country, but to run your life. To rule the country, I've already opened that door. There's no secret. Claim the ownership of natural resources, but that claim must be attached with your anointment, because everyone that goes that route, they clear. And it's on social media, it's clear. That's why we find the leadership in Africa. They all hide as long they are eating with their children, living in mansions, leaving the looters, continue looting our natural resources. May God bless you again and again. Thank you for understanding.